EdL and Ed Reading 300 really helped me think about my future classroom. EdL 300 made me think hard about my classroom and how to set it up. I think that class will help me succeed because I have my beginning classroom management plan. Ed Reading 300 made me actually think about how I will teach literacy to my future students. I think I struggled at first because I didn't have the greatest confidence in my literacy understanding. I think that Ed Reading helped me with that. Before the semester, I had never actually taught any lessons regarding reading and writing, so I'm grateful that I finally had the opportunity to do that. I've always thought that iMessages are an amazing skill to teach young children. I think that they can help improve communication skills at a young age. I want to teach my future students how to use them. I want them to use them to help solve problems with friends, teachers, etc. Ginott, if that's how you say it, is the theorist that said that this is the method of communication that's good. I was taught to utilize iMessages back in high school. I agree with him that they improve communication skills. I hope that by teaching my students this idea, that they'll continue to use it in the future and it will help them. I believe that literacy is an incredibly important concept to integrate into your classroom. Students need to know how to read and write to be able to succeed. I want to incorporate quick writes into a lot of my lessons because I think it gives the students time to process their thoughts and write them down. I'm taking a course that requires me to have a journal. I like that the journal lets me answer questions related to school and lessons, but I can also have it write about other things, so I want that for my students. I want to have a class library in my classroom, so students can pick books during free time. I want to be able to pick books for the library specifically related to future lessons, so that they can read about them beforehand. I want to utilize literature circles in different group projects to let my students collaborate and hear other points of view. Reading and writing is ingrained in every subject I will teach in the future, so I need to make sure that each student has a good foundation for it and that I can help them grow in it. I feel like I'm prepared to handle a situation where I would need to teach diverse learners. I'm a dual major, so I'm majoring in elementary education and special education. I think that having both majors will help me in my future classroom. I know how to differentiate instruction for all students. I need to be ready to help all my students succeed, which means that I might have to write accommodations for a large portion of my students, which we learn about in special ed. Also, I know that if I have English language learners in my class, that I need to ensure that I'm ready to teach that student. I want all my students to succeed, and I might need to help some more than others. I will be a culturally responsive teacher. I want every student to feel welcome in my class, no matter who they are. The role of the teacher is to create a warm, positive learning environment that makes all students feel comfortable and welcome. Also, I need to make sure that my students know that I care about them and I want them to succeed. I need to work hard to make sure I am engaging my students because otherwise they are not learning. The role of the student is being present physically and mentally. If they're not in school, then they're not learning. If they're distracted in class, then they're not learning. Students need to be present to learn. Obviously, there are going to be days that are bad. I understand that. But they can't be all the time. I want my students to take control of their education and want to be there because I want them to be there. I will try my hardest to make sure everything is engaging and that most things are fun, but none of it will matter if the students aren't present with me physically and mentally.